Hello, all you degenerate old schoolers, and welcome back to another episode of The Orb. Tonight is another Xpoints match. This kicks off New England Old School's June Xpoint Monthly. Free to join anytime. Play a myriad of versions of Old School, and this month we, like I said, are sticking on Xpoints. My opponent's Rich, and let's take a look at his deck. So be sure and go ahead and find the like button because this video is going to be awesome, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button because I do this shit a couple of times a week. Here's a look at Rich's deck. At first it looks like Arabian aggro. He's got the Curd Apes and the Dibs, but he does not have the Erhnams. He did opt for green creatures, 4 more Scrib Sprites to come in through the air, and 4 Gothian Pixies to deal with any of those artifact bastards out there that are trying to kill you. He also has a full burn package, 4 bolts, 4 chain lightnings, and 4 side blasts. A little bit of steroids sprinkled in with 2 giant growth, a hurricane, which, I mean, it's good to finish a game, especially with a deck like he has here. Throw a couple bolts to the face, swing in for 2 or 3 with your creatures, and then, tap everything and hurricane to the end. 2 counter spells. I do love this. He does have 14 blue mana sources in his deck to be able to tap for blue, 2 blue, and counter whatever spells in his way. And then his points, or half of them are spent on the Ancestral Recall. It is a ton of points, but you flip off an Ancestral Recall, I feel like it's going to be a win in your favor that game. He also has 2 more into a Brain Geyser. Get late game, have a Brain Geyser in hand, and you can turn around and draw just an absolute shit ton of cards. 2 into a Mishra's Factories because, hey, they're great too. And 1 into Regrowth to be able to pick up whatever card he needs to finish out the game. He also carries the standard Chaos Orb, 1 Pendlehaven, and a myriad of dual lands. Sideboard, I do like the Falling Star. He has a Concord Crossroads, which I also love. That takes care of the Abyss, which will be a nightmare for him. He has 1 Avoid Fate, 2 extra counter spells, 2 control magics, which are huge in Xpoints. He does have an Energy Flux, a couple Shatters, 3 blue elemental blasts, and 2 artifact blasts, which for 1 red will counter any artifact as it's being cast. To me, I think that's an underplayed card. People are pretty artifact heavy. Now, that being said, we look here at Rich's deck. He's got only 1 artifact in it, but there's a reason why it sits in his sideboard. Alright, let's take a quick look at my deck for the month. And here's a look at my sweet pile for the month. Right up front, my points, 5 of them are spent on that damn Ancestral Recall. 2 more into Time Walk. I have also 2 more sunk into 2 Maze of Ith, and 1 into Regrowth, so I can kind of do the same thing and pick up whatever card I need to win out the game. I built 3 colors, and I added in Rubinia Soul Singer. She's Legends, and green, white, and blue, 2 colorless, so 5 to cast. She's at 2/3. Tap to gain control of target creature. So I get to pick. It's like Preacher, but I'm doing the choosing. The bad news is she only has 3 toughness, so takes a lot of bolts to the face very easily. Also have 1 control magic in there. And the altar over there is an Amnesia. So Amnesia kind of works in place of the Mind Twist. There's no points for the Amnesia. I can make an opponent discard all the non-land cards. Downside is Amnesia's 6 to cast, including 3 blue, so kind of expensive to get out. My win condition are Erhnam Djinns and Sarah Angels. I have some Sylvans in there to do some digging. I have ramp in the form of Birds of Paradise. Sinbads and Sylvans work extremely well together. A couple Ice Storms to deal with any Maze of Ith I come up against, or any other land I need to deal with. 4 counter spells to get that shit out of my way that's trying to come in and kill me. or take care of my creatures. I have the white spot removal with both swords and disenchants. So yeah, I've played versions of this deck before. It's done very well for me. I wanted to do something that I thought would do well. A myriad of dual lands, a couple deserts to kill off those little pesky decks. On my sideboard, I have 2 Ivory Towers, 2 Blue Blasts, a couple Holy Lights. Gives -1/-1 to all non-white creatures, so that will kill off anything I needed to kill off. I'm only going to play that against, weenie decks or goblin decks to help smash out the little bastards coming right at me. A couple Divine Offering, 1 Dust to Dust, COP Reds, 1 COP Black, Spirit Link, which I think can do some really heavy lifting in this format, a Tranquility, and then a Tormod's Crypt to kill off that undead shit that comes back after you. So this is my pile for the month. I've said enough words. Let's get off to game number 1. And here we go with game number 1. I won the die roll, the Rochambeau, the arm wrestling match. So I get to be on the play. And I fire down a tropical island straight into a Birds of Paradise, signed by Mark Poole. Oh, look at this. Rich immediately cooking my birds out in the barbecue. My poor Birds of Paradise did not stand a chance. Oh, but look at this. Fire down a desert and a new Birds of Paradise. Enrich Hurricanes for 1. Oh, man. This hurts. We both go to 19. I'm down another card. I'm about ready to pick up the phone and call PETA. Rich is abusing my animals and murdering them with electricity and water. So no other play other than a land drop. Pass back to Rich. He finds his 3rd mana source. And our Gothian Pixies. He's ready to get this game started. Unfortunately for him, I have a Desert down. And now I have an Erhnam Djinn down. For a burn deck, Erhnam's kind of a pain in the ass with that 5 toughness. Rich is out there trying to find a solution. And he just passes. So, Erhnam's passing out Forest Walk. Like you pass out those little sweet hearts on Valentine's Day. Our Gothian Pixies is now a Forest Walker. Well, look at this. I have a Maze of Ith, and Erhnam's coming in for some damage. Rich is throwing back a blocker. Oh, look at this. Psy Blast. And a counterspell. Oh, wow. That was a big play. That ended up being a 2-for-1. He burnt 1 counterspell. He lost his Pixies and his Psy Blast. And he took 2 damage. Oh, no, he didn't. I'm sorry. We countered that out. That's been negated. Don't mind me, folks. I say things. I'm just along for the ride. Rich is throwing another body in front of the Erhnam. Tapping 2 for a Sylvan. And Psy Blast again. So, Rich was able to give him a real bad headache. He takes 2 from the side blast this time. I'm kind of ahead on cards, and I'm going to be able to dig through my library with that Sylvan. Kind of feeling like Rich is falling behind, but here we go. He's got a threat on the board, Script Sprites. The bad news about those Script Sprites is that Desert and that Maze of Ith will make quick work of them. Or maybe slow, long, painful work of them. I'm tapping 5. And there we go. Sarah Angel on the board. That 4/4 flying beast of a woman. Sword in hand. Ready to strike down any weenie that gets in front of her. Oh, Rich is tapping a bunch. Look at this Brain Geyser for 3. That's a pretty solid play. I'm tapped out. Can't do shit about it. He's refilling his hand. It just passes back to me. Ooh. I'm getting aggressive and taking another card, which I know he's got a lot of burn. I probably shouldn't be doing that. But nonetheless, I want the extra card, and I go down to 14. Sarah Angel comes in. Rich is down to 13, so pretty even game all around. I feel like I have the controlling pieces in play. You know, the noose is getting tighter around Rich's neck. Three for a dib. Oh, and I don't even want to mess with it. Swords to Plowshare on the dib, and Rich slaps my hand away and says, "Get that shit out of here." And I slap him right back and say, "Get that shit out of here." Dib is done for. He's been swords. Rich will run up to 16 life. And I will go take another walk through my library. Sylvan Library. Let me see some new cards. So Sarah Angel in again. Oh, look at this. Tapping all kinds of mana again. Second Sarah Angel. What a nightmare. What's worse than one Sarah Angel breathing down your neck? 2 fucking Sarah Angels breathing down your neck. Rich answers back with an Argothian Pixies. Not quite the play I'm sure you wanted to make. Yeah, Sarah's in. Flying over the top, swinging their broadswords. Rich offers a body to throw in front of the bus. Script Sprites are trucked right to the graveyard. And I sneak in for another 4 damage, putting Rich down to 8 life. So game's still pretty close. I'm on 13, he's on 8. Oh, and he's coming out with more cannon fodder, another Script Sprites. Yeah, I fire the cannons. Being the Sarah Angels right at Rich, and oh, look at this. Script Sprites doing some steroids in the back alley, getting huge and fighting back the Sarah Angel. Everybody dies here. Oh, but he responds, so yeah, I undo the Sarah. That's terrible. With the maze. Yeah, Sprites are back. That's the bad news about that Maze of Ith. It can be such a pain in the ass. And that's it. Game number 1 is done. Sarah Angel's in over the top. Erhnam Sarah takes it. I'm up 1-0. And here we go, game number 2. Rich is on the play, but the terrible news is he had a mulligan twice, starting with 5. That's never a good feeling at all. An even worse feeling when you're down a game. But he fires a volcanic. I come back with a City of Brass and a mana chicken, and he immediately cooks this mana chicken. I feel like Rich isn't getting fed properly at home, and he's just lighting every sidewalk chicken that he sees on fire. So he does find a Mishra's Factory. I'm getting good at tapping my City of Brass, and I'm getting good with coming back up with Birds of Paradise. They're all over this island. Two for a regrowth. Oh shit, he's only got 1 card in the yard. And here we go, he's smoking more mana chickens. I don't know if the Birds of Paradise had wronged Rich sometime in the past, but he has now cooked a whole fucking playset inside of a game in about 3 turns. So Rich back on the play. Here we go. Threat on the table. Argothian Pixies down. He does have that Mishra's Factory out there too, so when he gets Brave, I'm sure he doesn't want to think about losing that land. But his deck doesn't need a whole lot to operate. Let's see if he's thinking about turning those cards both sideways. Oh, Pixie's in for 2. I'm down to 16. Had a couple taps of the City of Brass earlier. I do find my 5th mana source, and I still have 5 cards in hand. But that being said, I just pass it back off to Rich. At some point, I'm going to have to address his threats, even if they're, little 2-power creatures. The ant colony's going to eat the elephant. So find another land and pass. I've not done shit this game, other than try and play out a couple Birds of Paradise, but at this point I probably didn't even need the Birds of Paradise. So Pixie's in for another 2. I'm down to 12. Rich is still sitting at 20. He also keeps ripping lands off. He's got a couple cards hiding back in his hand. Just another pass. I find another City of Brass that doesn't do shit for me. And here we go. Sarah Angel down on the board. Rich says, no sir, get that shit out of here. Quick counterspell. And I have a counterspell right back. Just cost me 2 life with the City of Brass, but that's okay. I'd rather keep that Sarah up and running. Looks like I'm down to, I think, 3 cards. Rich running 2 in hand. He's tapping a bunch. This is not good. 19, Brain Geyser. Looks like he's got a Brain Geyser for 4 cards. That's pretty impressive move. Good way to restock his hand, get some card advantage. Just pass down to me. Let some Sarah Angel come in and do some of my bidding, some of my dirty work. Yeah, she swings in for 4. And some insult to injury. I have an Erhnam Djinn to throw down with it. So a couple big bodies on the board. Yeah, I have 3 in hand. Rich has just an absolute ton of mana over there. Rich throwing down a Kurt Ape. Yes, it's 2-3. He has about 8 forests in play. And another Pixies. So that Brain Geyser helped him out a bit. Got some extra threats on the board. The terrible news is that Sarah Angel does great work, and so does that Erhnam at dealing with those creatures. Yeah, Pixies gets Forest Walk. I turn one of my creatures sideways, and the other one comes tomahawking through the air for 4. Rich offers a body to throw in front of that big-ass Erhnam Djinn. Oh, look at this. Tapping 2 for a Time Walk. Oh, he does have an answer. Counterspell. That's a pretty good play. So he negates some of my points. And just pass back to him. So he was in the lead for so long, but now it's 10-11. I'm on 10, Rich is on 11. I mean, this game is evening up in a hurry. And when you know someone's on burn, when you don't know what's in their hand, I mean, it's always lightning bolts, right? That's how it works out, so it's kind of terrifying, but you know, I can see Rich is a little bit hesitant to come in. Oh, here we go. Turn it sideways. Pixies that have Forest Walk anyways. Looks like I can't decide if I want to take it or not. Rich responding with an Ancestral. That's big. I mean, he's drawing some cards here. Yeah, I go down to 8 from the Argothian Pixies. And he rips 3 new cards from the top. So Rich sneaks down a new Tropical Island. And a Script Sprites. So he does keep building up more and more threats. Game's still very close. I'm on 8, he's on 11. But he does now have 4 threats on the board. New swords to plowshares. Yeah, send that scripts right back to doing farm work. And I'm going to send the team in here. I want to make sure my Sarah got in to maximize the amount of damage that I could do this turn. Yeah, he's throwing some cannon fodder in front of the Erhnam. Taking forward. Now we are tied up at 8-8. This game is going to come down to the wire. I have 2 cards left in hand. Rich still has 3. And look at this. Bolt. Back to the Erhnam. Oh, and a blue elemental blast to counter that shit right away. Oh, I don't like this. Rich is counting up all his mana sources, tapping everything. Hurricane for a bunch. I have nothing but a disenchant. I mean, this is lethal for both of us if it goes off. Wow, tie's better than a loss. So we shall move on to the next game. I'm up 1, and we have a tie under the belt. On to game number 3. Here we are with game number 3. I mean, at this rate, we could be at this all night long. Rich is on the play with a volcanic. A pass. Take a point for my city and throw down another chicken of the sea. The birds of paradise. We'll see if Rich is going to come running out of the woods and club the fucker to death. And he does. Yeah, what a terrible year to be a bird of paradise. Don't live around Rich. He will zap you straight to your face. So I do find a Sylvan library. That's a huge help. Gives me access to look at a couple extra cards. Oh, look at this. Taking an extra card, going down to 14. I find a desert. Oh, and an ivory tower. Ouch. Ivory tower, not good for the burn deck. Now, Rich does have a counterspell. And I have a counterspell back. Wow. Ivory tower is going to stick. Pass with 4 in hand, so I will not be gaining life immediately from it. Oh, here we go. Rich is tapping things. Ooh, pulling back another counterspell with a regrowth. Not a bad idea. I dropped to 5 and just a pass. I mean, there's where you question, do I take another card, go on down to 9 life, but get 2 life back next turn and 3 life the turn after. it's a tricky game, and you know, here comes Rich with some threats. Yeah, factory for his land, Kurt Ape. That's doing real well. He's a 2-3. So I'm gonna have to answer some of these threats down. I tap 2 for a Sinbad. So these 3 cards work well together. If I can draw a card before my Sylvan and it's a land. Oh no, all that doesn't matter because Rich says just get that shit out of here. He uses that counter spell. It's probably a good idea, because if that would have stuck, I probably would have walked away with the game here pretty quick. The amount of cards you can draw gets kind of ridiculous. So, Rich is turning everything sideways. I do have a Swords to Plowshare. Oh, a Void Fate. What a winner. Void Fate comes in, saves his Mishra's Factory from the Swords to Plowshares. I mean, that was huge. He comes in for 4. I'm down to 9. He's still on 20. This is not looking or feeling good at all. With his 2 creatures and a little bit of burn, I'm dead in 2 turns. Yeah, and I'm here between the proverbial rock and a hard place. Okay, another Sinbad. Trying to get my draw engine back up online. Down to 4 cards. Hopefully I jammed a land card on top. And I can upkeep draw with Sinbad. Gain a life with Ivory Tower. And Rich says, oh, that's cute. Check out my Ancestral Recall. Prepare to die. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, I take that back. He strips out the Volcanic. I thought he was going to take me off my open mana source. Eat my City of Brass, but I think he wants me to take extra damage here, which makes sense. He's swinging in for 4, but I do have another Swords to Plowshare. Finally get to nab that factory out of here. Rich is up to 22, and I am down to 6. I'm a lightning bolt and the bad sneeze away from dying. Rich is adding to the battlefield with another Kurt Ape. So upkeep draw with Sinbad. Oh, look at that. It's a land. How gorgeous. I should go ahead and gain. No, I take that back. I won't gain any life because I only have 4 in hand in my upkeep, even with that Sinbad draw. Yeah, Ivory Tower hasn't worked out really to my benefit. I think I've gained 1 life. I go down to 5 and Time Walk. Upkeep draw. Oh, look at this. Strip Mine. Gain my 2nd life from Ivory Tower. Up to 6. I mean, even if Rich doesn't do anything else, the most I'm getting a turn is probably 3 off my tower. And he's gonna be sending those damn dirty apes in for 4 a turn. Once those apes start sprechen day English, we have a problem. And look at this, another Mishra's Factory. Yeah, ape teams coming in. I'm taking a point to try and swords one out. And look at this, giant growth to the other one. Wow. Rich was on 22. I just died. I had 2 lands in play. So, bonus game, off to game number 4. We are 1-1-1. And here we go with game number 4. For all I know, this game might still be going on. I may be playing and commentating on the same time, at the same time. But I'm back to the Ivory Tower plan. I mean, I know that shuts down burn decks, but man, that did not work out well for me last game. Now, this game, I already have a life in from it, so really 1 or 2 more and I'll be even with what I did last game from it. Might as well just put Healing Salve in my sideboard. Just gain 3 life and get it over with. Alright, I already spent that life again with the City of Brass. I play out a Sinbad, but he's going to be used to try and fill up my hand as quick as possible. 4 in hand, upkeep, draw with Sinbad. And he goes out and murders his brethren. Destroys another Sinbad, sends him straight to the graveyard. That bastard. Ah, Sylvan Library. Okay. There is some method to my madness here. Rich hits 1. Ouch. And he immediately strikes down from above my Sinbad. I now have 2 in the graveyard. I do come up with a Mesa Ith. Look at this, he finds no dual lands. I think he only has about 2 islands in his whole deck. He does find a Script Sprites, but leaves 2 blue open. I take a second card. I think this is the 3rd game I've done this for. But not a bad idea with that Ivory Tower. The bad news is I'm down to 13. I do want to start gaining some life. Rich finds another City of Brass. And he sends the team in. 1 factory and 1 Script Sprite. Oh, look at this. Disenchant on the factory. I back the Script Sprites up. Oh, motherfucker. Another Avoid Fate. Well done, Rich. Those can be pretty good cards here. He kept his factory alive. Now twice with an Avoid Fate. Wow. I'm taking some damage, but I'm gaining a little bit of life back. I'm up to 11 on my upkeep. Rich is still on 17. This doesn't feel great. I do rip off another Mesa Ith, so he's going to have to come up with some more threats to be able to get the job done here. Oh, that's terrible. Another City of Brass. I'm sure we've all been in that situation. Playing multiple colors, so you throw in a couple City of Brass, maybe a play set, and they seem to clump up to each other. They're like fucking North and South Pole magnets. They attract to each other, and then next thing you know, you're piling them up on the board, and your life total's dwindling because, well, you end up tapping them. Or maybe your opponent taps them for you. Rich finds another threat in the form of a Xpoints. He's down to 16, but look at this. I'm climbing back out of the hole I was in. Kind of like the girl from The Ring. If you watch this video, you will see. And I'm answering threats. Strip mine straight to his factory. Can't avoid that, fate that shit, so finally get the job done. Yeah, and it's terrible to see your opponent gaining life when you're on a burn deck. I feel like I told Rich to stand still and I'm building walls around him. Ooh, more mana chickens for me, which it looks like I need. The Mesa Ith are nice, but my deck requires a fair amount of mana to operate. And one City of Brass and one Tundra are not going to cut it. Let's see if Rich finds his favorite tennis racket and goes and bludgeons this bird straight to death again. Ooh. The bird survives. Second birds. Third Xpoints. Threats are starting to build, but I'm back to 19. And I have a full grip of cards. Yeah, Rich is sending the team in. Tell him that his 1/1s aren't that scary if I have to make him put them away. The maze sends them on back. They get lost. Looks like I've crept all the way back up to 20. Kind of feels dirty on my part. Another City of Brass for me. So this is what I was talking about, these lands clumping together. They are friends with each other and just want to hang out. So Rich's sprites all come in with needles again. One only gets in. I go to 19 and immediately take my turn. Go to 22. Rich is still on 16. Here's my first viable threat down. Erhnam Djinn. And Rich says, that's nice, but check out my Ancestral Recall. Oh, I said, get that shit out of here. I ate 2 life, my City of Brass, and not a big deal. He does not draw 3. Counterspell prevails. Oh, terrible. He's got 4 for control magic. He wants to play with my creature. Which, who doesn't want to play with an Erhnam Gen? And here come his team of 1/1s in. Back to 19 I go. My own Erhnam's now staring me straight in the eye, trying to come over and choke me to death. Look at this, taking another card. I'll go to 16. Oh, desert. That's bad news. He is nice enough to grant my Birds of Paradise Forest Walk. And he's turning the team in. I undo the Erhnam, 1 Scrib Sprites. I imagine my desert's going to start choking some of these creatures out. Yeah. So I take 2, but he's going to lose a creature. That's not a race he wants to run. Although he does have 1 to back it up, a Curd Ape. A pass back to me, so... I mean, Rich is loading up with creatures. It kind of does feel like he's taking control of this mess. I do have plenty of defensive answers. Maze of Ith. The desert's going to keep choking some shit out. I'm tapping 5 for a Sarah Angel. Look at that gorgeous skeleton with blonde hair. Still wielding the sword. The Sarah feels good. The only bad news is Rich is full of bolts and burn. So keeping her alive can be a tall order. And looks like Rich is going to turn everything sideways again. Yeah, why not? He needs to go for broke. We're both still at 16. My life total's been all over the place this game. I'm undoing the Erhnam and the Curd Ape. Yeah, I just decided to take the 2. I don't want to lose the Sarah. I just spent everything on. This is not good. Rich is just tapping a bunch of shit here. And a big hurricane for 4. Yeah, I need an answer to this. I mean, he's going to be drowning mana chickens and murdering Sarah Angels and killing Scrib Sprites all in one go. Ooh, I opt to take some extra life. Huh. Uh-oh, Rich is tapping more stuff. Oh, he's counterspelling the Swords to Plowshares. Wow. And that's it. I mean, that's a 4 for 4 exchange. All the flying creatures in the bin. I'm left with a Sylvan and an Ivory Tower, and he's left with 2 creatures. The good news is I have 2 Maze of Ith. So damage has been done. After the Hurricane, I mean, I go to 10, he's on 9. The game's halfway over. We finally got there, folks. Ooh, but I play a Time Walk. He's tapped out, can't do shit about it. I do have 5 in hand, so I'm up to 11. Play out a second desert. So he still has to deal with those Maze of Ith to get in for this win. Oh, Rich's got a regrowth though. Getting serious. He wants to reuse some of those cards in his band. Looks like he picks up the Hurricane. Ooh, now he's got some heat for my face. Chain Lightning. I fire back down. Blue Elemental Blast. So I'm down to 4 in hand. I'm off the Ivory Tower plan. But I'm also away from the direct damage to my face plan. Oh, look at this. More heat. I'm back on the direct damage to my face plan. I'm down to 8. Lightning Bolt to the face. I mean, we're both on 8 here. I'm fighting tooth and nail to gain life. Rich is fighting tooth and nail to stick the final nail in my coffin. Guess he needs to use more teeth. Said no one ever. Must have a regrowth of my own as I'm taking a look at the turd pile I have in my graveyard. Just take one. There's that regrowth. And a disenchant. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Sick of Rick playing with my creatures. I go ahead and grab and earn them back. Rich is still looking for a way out. Now he wants to see my graveyard. Probably counterspells how many I played. Nope. Swords to Plowshares. A couple Sinbads. So Rich fires down on Argothian Pixies. And yeah, I send Erhnam in. You put some cannon fodder in front of the Erhnam. Let damage be done, and then I tap it with the Maze of Ith. So Maze of Ith has been crucial, to say the least, for this game for me. I would have been dead 20-30 minutes ago. Rich is tapping a bunch of shit here. Tapping 6. Oh, Hurricane for 5. He's on 6, I'm on 8. I think this is his last resort. This will put him down to 1 and me down to 3. Tapping a city and a bolt. Oh, look at this. Swords to Plowshare to stay alive.
You're kidding! Judge.
Wow, that swords was huge. I take it 2-1-1 in a 4-game beatdown. That was so close. What a nail-biter of a game. As always, thanks for watching The Orb. Thanks for the games, Rich.